Well, I reckon we'll get on back to the adventure.
Oh, the adventure.
The adventure!
The adventure!
I'm going to say that the morning of a new day has begun. Mr. Marsh, you are at the Scamp with Sammy and Walt.
Hey.
You've already gotten up, you are back up on the top deck, and you just get a big inhale of that sharp, clean morning air.
He inflates his neck.
Sammy turns away as he does this. He knows that's just something that Mr. Marsh does, but he just does not like the visual sight of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, Sammy, you noticed this. Mr. Marsh didn't. He was too busy enjoying it. But you noticed that when he inflates his throat...
Sorry, his vocal pouch.
Oh,
vocal
thank you.
pouch
His
is
vocal
arguably worse. Please go back to throat.
When he inflates it, standing right next to you, Sammy, you see Walt staring at it and then gets a big old metal finger to go to poke it.
I would not poke that if I were you. It's very mad when you do that.
Walt looks at you, nods, and then keeps his hands to himself.
I love that suggests that this has happened in Sammy's presence before, that someone has had the, absolute balls to poke Mr. Marsh's vocal pouch.
Some other crew members did it once. I don't know if they were drunk or not. It wouldn't have mattered if they were drunk, because what matters is they did it to Mr. Marsh in the first place, and Mr. Marsh, flipped his froggy lid on them.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I'm going to say, Mr. Marsh, if you and your two compatriots are ready, go and head on up to retrieve your captain, so to speak.
Right. Before that happens, Mr. Marsh says to Sammy and Walt, "All right, we're gonna have guests on the ship, so we need to prepare a room for them."
Of course. What preparations need to be done? How many passengers? Are there children on board? Are we bringing pets? What do we need? What is needed?
I believe, out of all the information that I have so far, we need... Probably they can share a room, 2 beds. We don't have very nice accommodations for guests.
Understood.
And so, he's going to make sure that something is prepared for them to stay in while they're on the ship.
I'm going to say that the three of you kind of put your heads together to try to make accommodations for that within the first hour or so.
First priority.
Once you guys are all done, you return to the top deck, and you see standing on the dock is Guff and Pearl. They seem to just be patiently waiting, and Guff sees you and he says, ahoy, Captain.
Oh, how very kind. I am not the captain. The captain, and he points up towards the captain's lodge, he says, the captain is aloft.
Guff turns around and looks back in that direction. Oh, I suppose we'll be waiting on the captain then?
Hey.
Well, we're ready.
Good. He's gonna cross his arms and just stand at the dock.
Yeah.
And just, wait for whenever the captain shows up.
Oh, okay. You're waiting for the captain?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, we can't really do anything without orders.
I mean, they need the captain's permission to come on board.
Oh, that's true. And the two of them are happy to just wait.
Yeah, so is Mr. Marsh.
Sammy's perfectly fine with it.
You hear Pearl say, oh, wow, look, another one. And, yep, you turn and you look, and over at the entrance of the cove is another ship coming into port.
Do I recognize this ship?
Can I roll for recall knowledge?
The shrill cry of gulls and roosters stir awake the island of Dragontooth. A single clear bell chimes the hour for rising and working. The vessels of your fellow pirates have already departed, but now a new vessel has passed through the cove's mouth and has begun its docking process. A galley near the scale of the Scamp flies the flag of a even more despised alliance than any pirate or Jolly Roger. It has hoisted the colors of the Taldan Imperial Navy.
My boys!
God. Mr. Marsh is gonna say, Sammy, I need you to keep an eye on the ship. And he's gonna run as quickly as he can to go locate the captain. As quickly as possible.
And when you take off, run on past Guff and Pearl, Pearl says, is everything all right?
And just say, you, stay there, we'll get you. And he just keeps going.
Pearl looks back now at Sammy and Walt now standing at the other side of the docking board. Is that bad? Does he need help?
Is any of this familiar to Sammy?
Oh, you immediately recognize a Navy vessel.
I'm going to assume and say that it's nothing for you to worry about. Us, on the other hand, that's a different story. That does not need to concern you.
Sammy's like trying to be politely reassuring. Is there a role that I can do to like reassure them so they don't start worrying?
I'm gonna say that they don't seem worried, they just seem curious.
Okay. That's why I'm trying to explicitly tell them this is nothing you can do anything about. This is kind of just for us to do.
Right.
Before Mr. Marsh gets too far away, he turns around, comes back, and yells to the crew. And he says, "Crew,
Aye!
make ready to depart!"
Ready? What?
And then he starts
What's he
going.
talking about? And as Mr. Marsh takes off, one of the crewmen actually come up to you, Sammy, a regular deckhand, and he asks you, "Did Mr. Marsh say to get ready for sail?"
That he did, yes, that he did.
All right. Yeah, and they're a little confused at first, but they start getting ready for sail, and then some of them start pointing out the Navy vessel coming into port. And Sammy, are you going to chill there, or are you also going to try to chase down the captain?
No, he trusts Mr. Marsh very well. If anyone's going to get the captain's attention, it's Mr. Marsh. Sammy has to stay on deck, on the ship, keep everything under control.
Very good. Mr. Marsh, it's a jog. You're going at full speed, as quick as your little froggy legs will take you.
As a swashbuckler, he actually has improved foot speed.
Oh, great.
He's got a 30-foot speed.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, that's your speedy. You're tearing it up.
Yep. Doink, 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 doink.
Tick, 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 tick. And up. You managed to get all the way up to the captain's lodge. Captain, you're enjoying your morning? How are you enjoying your morning by the time Mr. Marsh comes and gets you?
The captain's an early riser. She's gotten up. She's practiced a couple scales and her instruments, played a couple songs, and she has definitely noticed those colors on the horizon. But being the dramatic captain that she is, she can hear Mr. Marsh coming and pulls open the door right as Mr. Marsh arrives and is pretty much just like, good of you to join me. Let's go.
And he about faces and gets ready.
Down the road.
Yep.
So we're going to hightail it back to the ship.
Great. In the time that it took for you to get up there, the naval ship has managed to dock.
Mhm.
And Sammy, I'm going to say from your perspective, can't quite make out how many, but you could see that Marines have begun to disembark from the ship. And they're slowly making a march through the town, and you could hear them calling out, "Official naval business! If you have any news about these pirates," and he's holding up a list of wanted names. "We are looking for Captain Kid Leo. We're looking for Captain Thorn. We are looking for Captain Kate. We're looking for Captain Alice the Cyclops." And people around them are gathered around, but some people are actually just kind of taking the mick about the whole thing. There are a couple people that are like, I seen her, she's right here, and he points at his butt. And a couple people laugh, and then, they detain that dude.
No!
With due prejudice.
Sammy immediately, ducks behind cover on the ship, doing everything that he can to stay out of view. He's actually legitimately scared.
Walt is standing upright and looking down at you. Are you well?
They're looking for us. I don't know how, but they found us. We're looking for the captain.
While that's happening, Captain Kate, you and Mr. Marsh are booking it down the main lane, trying to get back to your ship, when you see that cadre of Marines are now in between you and your ship. And now, their leader, their sergeant, looks up at the hill, sees you, and he says, well, that fits the description as good as anything else. That's got to be Captain Kate. And now we're going to begin a very fun little sequence called a chase.
Whoa, no,
Captain
this
Kate.
is new. This is new.
Captain Kate, Mr. Marsh,
Aye.
you two are separated from the Pernicious Scamp, which is actively getting ready to set sail the moment you two step onto it. you now have a platoon of naval marines running straight at you. I'm going to say that they're about 300 feet away and quickly closing. Captain Kate, you quickly assess your surroundings and you see that there are primarily 3 routes that you could take. One to your left, which cuts through livestock. One right down the middle, which is going to be the most direct route, but it's also straight through these guys. On the right side, you could see that there is a loading dock off in the distance that you're going to have to make your way towards that you might be able to use to get onto the ship. The way that the chase sequence works is that for every obstacle that you guys run into, there is a criteria that you must meet. A certain number of chase points that you must match in order to bypass that obstacle. Now, the way that you gain a chase point is by beating the DC. That gets you 1 chase point. Critically succeeding at the DC gets you 2. You want to get as many as you can to be able to move on to the next obstacle. Failing, obviously, doesn't net you a chase point, and critically failing is going to slow you down. These guys are also going to need to do checks in order to catch up to you.
Oh, okay, so they're suffering the same penalties that we might.
That they're going to be going through. So, Captain Kate.
Is this a Pathfinder mechanic, or is this something you came up with?
It is.
Okay.
This is a Pathfinder exclusive mechanic. Oh, wow. Another reason why Pathfinder is the superior sword.
Oh, yeah! There's a subsystem called the Victory Point System, and the Victory Point System can be used for a bunch of different things, and they have specifically chase Victory Point things that you can keep track of and do.
This is an entirely new system.
Now,
Another reason that Pathfinder is the best TTRPG system out there. If you're listening, Paizo, we're open. We're open for business.
We're open, Paizo.
We're open, Paizo. Now, my favorite part about this is that I have a list of skills, checks, and DCs on my lap that I've written out that are relevant to each individual obstacle. But Pathfinder encourages ingenuity. If you can come up with a really creative way to get past an obstacle, however you do it, and I'll reward you for that.
Excellent.
So what do you say we get started?
Hi.
Captain Kate, you're standing right next to Mr. Marsh. As it is the chase, you both get to start. In unison, by the way. This is a team effort.
All right. What are we thinking, Mr. Marsh?
Oh, I can get their attention off of us for a second.
By all means.
Yep. Let me let you know that I'll say won't do too much to them beyond, I would say, flavor. You're going to want to choose a route first and then make a plan after that.
Okay. I'd say the most direct route
Straight down the middle.
is the one right down the middle.
Okay. Mr. Marsh, Captain Kate, you both give each other a nod and decide to just book right into these guys. As you're running towards them, the first Marine to approach you is running forward with a musket and a bayonet on the end. And when he tries to stop the both of you, he just holds up his musket and the two of you just go around him. As he's all like, there's no way they'll split up, and then you two did.
Just fork around him.
Yep, you just fork around him, and anytime any one of them reaches out a hand to grab one of you guys, you almost become liquid and just move around them. This is not the first time you guys have escaped the Navy. Through your movements, there's plenty of times where one of you grabs the other by the back of your shirt, pulls to get the other one out of the way. You two are in perfect synchronicity to be able to move through these guys, and once you do, you're actually on the other side of the pack, and now the Marines have stopped, and they're kind of confused as to how on earth did they get past us? And now you've begun to run. And once you do, you both see that, unfortunately, the road is also still crowded, and you guys notice that there is a overturned wheelbarrow that, with just enough proper footwork, you guys can actually get up on top of roofs. And you hike, and when you two see that, give each other a notice. Captain Kate runs over and slams onto one side of the wheelbarrow, launching Mr. Marsh up onto the roofs, where he turns around and extends a hand where you can just up off of the sides of the building, grab his hand, and now you're both up on the roof. Now this is the first actual obstacle. As you two sort of congratulate each other, and you're like, hey, nice work! You both happen to notice that I think we're both sliding, and sure enough, you look down and you notice that the roof is not well made, and it's begun to crumble under your steps. You can do, as an example, acrobatics checks, athletics checks, but what would you two like to do in order to get out of it? In order to get going forward?
Mr. Marsh can go for an acrobatics check.
Froggy acrobatics.
Same.
All right, go ahead and give me a couple of acrobatics checks.
Not a great roll, but that might be all right. It's a 19 total.
Nice. And Captain
Oof.
Kate. Ooh!
Well,
oh, by the way, I completely forgot. It's always funny that you don't remember until now, but for that excellent role-playing earlier, I am going to give Captain Kate a hero point.
Oh, thank
And
you.
same thing with you, Mr. Marsh.
Oh, thank you.
And
I'm
you
gonna
too,
meet
Sammy.
Yay!
Okay, let's get back to it.
Perfect.
So, Captain, you did not roll very well. Would you like to use a hero point?
Yes. Rerolling using my hero point. Total of
Better.
23.
Oh, much
yeah,
better.
much better.
Awesome.
Awesome.
As these shinglings are starting to slide off, how are you two helping each other get over this obstacle? Your footing is starting to go,
Right.
so are you two grabbing each other's arms, or how are you getting over this? For the sake of flavor.
Yeah, for the sake of flavor.
Mr. Marsh is just... His only concern is making sure that the captain is, one, ahead of him, and two, as close to the ship as possible. So I presume with the athletics check, he, leaps forward off of the crumbling
Awesome.
and just make sure to, push the captain forward as he does so.
Great. You're practically slingshotting her along the way, and very gracefully making steps forward. I'm going to say at this time, Silas.
Yeah.
You were...
What's this commotion?
Actually, yeah, you step out from behind one of the buildings after having a very lovely morning relief and enjoying... You come around the corner and you happen to be holding a half-eaten loaf of bread when you see a flash of red and green as Mr. Marsh and Captain Kate fling themselves up on top of a building, balance for a second, and then start running. For a moment, you think, oh, that's odd. And then you look over to the side and you happen to see, oh, it's my compatriots! The Navy! The Navy's here!
Excellent.
And they're spinning around, running into each other, and they're pointing at Captain K, say, stop, pirate! Stop in the name of the law! And then one of the Marines sees you and he says, look, a naval lieutenant!
Yes. It is I, Lieutenant Ravelow.
Lieutenant, thank the gods you're here! They're getting away!
Who are they? Wanted pirates?
Yes, that's the notorious devil woman Captain Kate!
Never heard of her.
Ouch.
Well, why aren't you pursuing?
Yeah, we are, and they are kind of bumbling, but they are trying to climb up the building, and they're all like, "Please help us catch her."
All right, I'll show you how it's done. Stand aside, men.
And now, it's your turn to be a part of the chase.
Excellent.
Now, you could either split up the routes that were going on earlier. Knowing your own personal tenacity, you'd be able to get to the scamp just about as quickly as them, as long as you continue to be persistent. Which, do you want to do a different route, or do you want to do the same route that they're doing?
So is there any indication that I would know what ship they're trying to get to?
I would say that from where you're at, you can see in the dock, there is just the Navy vessel and a merchant ship. Yeah.
Oh yeah, everybody left.
He wouldn't know that.
Okay. So yes, I would know then. All right.
What would you like to do, Finan?
Well, I don't think it makes much sense to chase after them directly. Instead, we would intercept.
Excellent. So you could do the left route or the right route. Both of them curve out, but eventually would bend back to your goal. You'd either be able to cut through the livestock exchange, or you'd be able to cut through the city streets, which would be to your right, and the livestock exchange would be to your left.
Okay, so... Well, then I would try to catch them sort of right here. Intercept in this direction.
Yeah, that one would be through the city streets.
Alright, I'll take the streets then.
All right. You see them shooting across these, to be perfectly honest, poorly made roofs. And every once in a while, a new piece of roofing lands and breaks on the ground right in front of you. So as you're trying to track them, and then you hook into one of the city streets thinking, like, I'll be able to cut them off, no problem. And then as you come around a corner, for some reason, there's just a group of kids playing in the street, about 20 of them, all being noisy, running around, playing tag, and now they're all in your way. How are you going to get past them?
I will kick the children. How tall are they?
About waist height to you.
No, I'm doing it. I'm going to plow through them. I'm like, get out of the way, and I'm going to attempt to shove them aside.
Oh, no.
Make way!
Awesome. Give me an athletics check.
Athletics, alright. Not great.
So, the kids around you are immediately like, hey, mister, you got any money? And they start, like, trying to frisk you as you're, like, trying to push them back. It's even worse than it was in the jungle. At least the jungle, the bushes weren't trying to pickpocket you.
Well, I mean...
And now you're trying to keep kids back, and you're making progress, but unfortunately you could see that the other two are starting to get ahead.
Well, dang nabbit.
But you still managed to stay ahead of the Marine goons.
Well, poorly trained grunts.
So, Captain Kate, Mr. Marsh, the two of you are now running near the edge of one of the buildings. And you can see ahead of you, you're about to run out of platform. But on the other side of that is a wide open area, a merchant's pavilion, where wares are being sold and bought. And you figure maybe we can eyeball onto one of the tents down there. How are you guys going to get down?
So we're still up.
Yep.
We need to get down.
Yep.
How tall are these buildings?
I'm going to say about 1 story, so 10 feet.
That's
Okay.
jumpable.
Yep. Mr. Marsh has a climb speed, so he'll just climb down.
Oh, okay.
He has a 15-foot climb speed, so he's pretty quick.
Yeah.
And then...
Captain?
You know, thought I had a climb speed. That I can jump, right? Yeah.
You can jump. Are you aiming for anything? I will tell you that there is a hay barrel not too far and a tent.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
Is the hay in a wheelbarrow?
Yeah.
Mr. Marshall moved the wheelbarrow so that it's at a better position.
Oh, cool.
He would like to help.
Yeah. For that, just to make sure that you guys make it in time and that it's quick enough, go ahead and give me an athletics check. And that's one of the ones that I don't have listed,
Natural
so
20.
that's going to be good. Oh, baby! Mr. Marsh, you quickly climb down the building and run on over to the barrel, and you don't even pick it up or anything. Just jump past it and use your frog legs to kick it as it slams against the base of the building that Captain Kate was at.
I'd like to then jump down with a little flourish and land right in that hay. Acrobatics?
Yep, acrobatics, please.
That'd be a 28.
You are so graceful. Floop. Easy landing. You two now have the
Incredible.
Merchant's Pavilion in front of you to cut through. And now, Silas,
Yes.
how were there that many kids? You're now on the other side of it, and you can see, out of the corner of your eye, the 2 fugitives are now at ground level and
All
are
right.
now shooting into a Merchant's Pavilion. Now, you could either keep on this street, which might allow you to get closer, or directly follow after them into the Merchant's Pavilion.
Let's see. Well, I don't know where this street leads, right? So...
I was going to say, your best bet is that it's going to take you a little bit out of the way and then curve back to catch them.
maybe there'd be less obstructions then. So many choices.
So many choices.
Whopping 2 of them. I'll just go right after him.
Okay. And now you've reached the edge of the Merchant's Pavilion. The 2 of you are now about halfway through that. And of course, people are trying to sell you things. People are trying all sorts of exotic wares from all over the world. And the crowd is starting to get thicker here. How are the 2 of you going to get through this?
Have we already gone past a few people?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh is going to trip somebody. Yeah. Somebody that we've gone past, somebody that doesn't look very strong. He would like to just reach and trip them to, you know, have the path behind them be a little more difficult to get through.
Give me an athletics check.
Alrighty.
Oh, I believe it. That's why I bring
Natural 15 for 24.
You 2 are running, and sure enough, you pass by a guy as you bump into him a little bit, and he's like, hey! And when you hear that, you turn around and you see it's just some skinny guy.
Just be like, slow down the Navy for us, will ya? And he grabs his ankle and...
Oh! He's landing flat on his back. Oh!
He says, thank you, and then keeps running.
That's definitely a chase point right there. Captain Kate, what are you going to do to help you guys get through?
All right, so this market, like, this is a pirate island, right? So, like, all of these markets,
Yes.
like, when we unload, we're kind of, like, they're our fence, right? Like, we're selling to them, they're selling to us. Like,
Yeah.
we're well known here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to cast Bullhorn, which amplifies my voice loud enough for me to be heard easily at great distance, about 500 feet. And I'm just going to make a declaration that says, to anyone that slows down any of these naval officers, I'll throw in the best cut of my treasure at next time we meet. Yes.
I'm going to say go ahead and do a deception check.
I wasn't necessarily lying.
And since you're doing Bullhorn, I'm going to lower the DC.
Okay. Right, total of 23.
Captain, after you've said that, there's a bit of a pause, and then about, as far as you can tell, about 15 people in front of you look at you, look past you, and then 1 or 2 of them, like, hits another guy in the shoulder, they're like, hey, let's go get some money! And then they start moving past you. And now, Silas, you just heard anybody that stops these naval officers is going to get a cut of my bounty. And now you see about 15 people and a guy on the ground all now moving towards you.
They're coming at me.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
our last line. We got layers. We got layers.
How are you going to get past these guys? Yeah, they're not specifically targeting you. They're just looking for anybody that's got any kind of Navy clothing.
Okay, so they don't know. So I'm going to quickly turn my jacket inside out and attempt to blend in.
Oh! I like it. Give me a deception check. That's a natural 20! When this group of 15 bruisers start coming up to you, they see you and they're like, hey, did you hear? We're gonna go beat up some of these Navy guys. You wanna come?
No, I'm afraid I have other business to attend to. Excuse me, gentlemen.
Alright, hey, have a good day, brother.
You as well.
A ton of the street has been cleared, and now it is much easier for you to actually try to catch up to these other 2 fugitives.
No.
And now, one more obstacle now lies in your way, as Captain Kate, you and Mr. Marsh are able to find an unintended cart and ride it for about 300 feet down a slope.
Yeah.
And at the very end of it, you can see that there is a loading system to bring up heavy cargo and load it onto a boat. And you can see that now there are still a couple of, like, maybe, we're going to say 4 Marines between you and the ship now that were disembarked during the course of this chase. How do you 2 use the loading system to get, and right on the other side of this, you can see Sammy, you can see Walt, you can see the rest of your crew, who all now see you guys.
Okay, I'm not going to use the machine. Mr. Marsh would like to go, "Hi, is that the Hurricane Queen?" And would like to attempt to create a distraction,
Nice.
if that's okay.
Go for it.
Well, not a great roll, 14 total.
Yay. So, unfortunately, when one of them goes, huh? And starts looking behind him, one of the other guys next to him slaps him in the shoulder and says, no, look, see, he's right. He's clearly trying to trick you. And they point their bayonets at you guys, and they start marching. They're not running, they're marching it.
Okay.
Captain Kate,
Yeah.
what's the play?
How far away from us are they?
I'm gonna say 50 feet.
50 feet. All right. Oh, that changes things.
They need to be within her spell range.
What? No.
So if you could.
Right?
So if you could.
So if you could. I mean,
Nudge him a little bit.
right? Just come here. And how close are we to the loading machine at this point?
Oh, it's right next to you.
All right. For everyone listening and for me at home, could you describe what exactly this looks like? Like, really paint a picture.
Okay. So it's primarily a big wooden arm
Okay.
that the controls and the exposed pulleys and ropes are on the outside of. And it's just used to pick up heavy cargo and then put it down on a ship, or vice versa.
It's like a pallet moving arm.
Okay.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Basically, just to really drive this point
Yeah.
home, it's that machine at the beginning of Pirates of the Caribbean 1.
Yeah, the one where he swings onto the deck.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. If Mr. Marsh and I were to stand on it and I was to cast a phantasmal minion to operate the controls, would we be able to then, hop on board the scam?
I would say you'd be able to completely bypass the check.
Then, without further ado, I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to grab Mr. Marsh's hand and say, it's about time we took our leave, cast the phantasmal
Aye.
minion, step aboard, and just very dramatically, just like
Yes.
this was the entire plan all along, hop on board.
And what does the Phantasmal Minion look like?
So it's kind of a reflection, I would say, of Kate herself. It's kind of this glowy, purple, vaguely tiefling, infernal-shaped being about the same size as Kate.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. You summon it out from yourself,
Yes.
and the two of you stand on a counterweight. Holding hands,
Yep.
say, I suppose we'll take or leave. The Marines see you climb up on that, and they've stopped marching. They're now running, but they can't get to you in time before the two of you go snap and launch you both into the air. Maintaining perfect, boys. Why don't the two of you give me reflex saving throws to catch yourselves from the fall?
Okay.
And while the two are doing that, Silas, you just saw these two maniacs launch themselves into the air. You're also kind of a maniac. What are you gonna do?
That's a 21 for me, by the way.
It's a 20 for me.
You know what? I'm unkillable.
If you're going for it, give me a reflex saving throw.
Yeah. Well, an 18 total.
Yep.
Oh, no. Oh.
All right. Silas, you now approach the machine. You're like, they did it. It's easy. And you run over to it, charge full on. And when you do, there's one of the Marines that sees you coming, and he's like, who's that guy? And you run, you get on the machine, and because now the minion has dissipated,
Yeah.
when you get on the machine, you look down at the group of Marines at your feet, and when they look back at you, they look over at the scamp, and then one of the Marines, a very young man, maybe about 18, he looks at you, he looks at the scamp, looks back at you, and then he almost looks like he's tearing up as he raises a hand to salute you. And he's all like, good luck, sir! And he hits the lever. And sends you afterwards. Mr. Marsh, Captain Kate.
Slow motion, I salute him back. Give him a wink.
The two of you are launched into the rigging, which is like home to you.
Mm-hmm.
How does Mr. Marsh break his fall as he's thrown into the rigging?
Oh, he grabs onto the ropes.
And just, boom.
Like, goes with the momentum to slide down the rope as he is holding onto it.
Onto
Yes.
the deck.
Yeah, onto the deck.
You land and amongst the crew. And when you do, a couple of them are surprised, and you can hear a few members of the crew going, "Oh, it's Mr. Marsh! Yeah! All right, yeah!"
Mr. Marsh says, "What are you waiting for? Move!
And they start to scramble, and they're actually starting to kick the boat.
On deck, you scabrous dogs!"
Now they're starting to get the ship away from the dock. Captain Kate, how do you break your fall?
The captain is launched into the rigging. She grabs it in one hand, one foot, and one piece by the tail, kind of does a little bit of a spin, stops her movement, and then is able to gracefully jump down to the deck, takes her hat off, and says, "You heard Mr. Marsh," and just points off into the direction of their heading and says, "Let's be off."
And when the two of you do, Silas, how do you break your fall? You are also launched into the rigging.
Yes, I'm going to grab onto one of the cross masts and then shimmy my way over to the net rigging and just climb myself down until I'm slightly above the deck and then hop down and brandish my crossbow.
So, the ship has now pulled away from the dock and is now orienting itself to leave the cove. Captain Kate, Walt, Sammy, and Mr. Marsh, all four of you are looking at each other with a sense of accomplishment when thud! In the middle of you lands Silas. What does Silas look like to the rest of the crew right now? I'm gonna let Pieman describe what does Silas look like when he lands.
He has a vestment of rotten armor. He has pretty basic sailor's gear. He does not wear the pantaloons of the Navy, instead has opted for more utilitarian boots. He does, however, maintain his lieutenant's coat, which is in not the best shape.
Right now it's inside out.
Inside out, yeah.
And he also has a very worn bicorn hat with a feather in it that has lost most of its ribbing and is a little bent in the middle. He clearly hasn't shaved in a while and is sunburnt and has a lot of bug bites.
And now Silas, through exhaustion, through days at sea, through all the hardship that you've gone through, now with this pirate vessel, as it's clear to you, is now reaching the center of the cove and is maneuvering around the spires. You got all of these pirates right where you want them.
Exactly.
What do you say?
By command of the Navy, halt your advance, or you shall be hung in the gibbets.
Crew's kind of looking around confused. I don't know. What's going on?
Mr. Marsh leans into Captain Kate and says, "Captain, it seems we've got another homeless man on the ship. Would you like me to kill him?"
Not yet, Mr. Marsh, not yet.
Aye.
I'm sorry. And the captain's going to direct her entire attention to the human boy aboard and say, "I didn't quite catch your name there, sir."
Lieutenant Silas Elliot Bravelow of the Royal Navy, and you are hereby under arrest.
Now, GM, does this name strike any sort of fear in my heart?
Of Lieutenant Silas?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say you've never heard of the man.
That's what I figured. Charmed. Do you know whose ship you're aboard, Lieutenant?
Yes, this is the rotten schooner of some poor foul pirate.
Close. I'd like to think, though, that especially among the esteemed Navy of Taldor, that I would hold a little bit more, status?
You would think too highly of yourself in that case.
You have no idea where you are. And with that, you know what? I would genuinely like to pull the whip that's on my side and attempt to trip him.
Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and go for it.
Oh yeah, hit me with that. Do it.
That's a 16.
Looks like, unfortunately, that's a failure. So, Captain Kate, as you're getting a view, really assessing this poor tramp that is, by the way, surrounded by a crew of 30 people. And he's now just pointing his crossbow around everybody. You go to make a trip attempt, but he impresses you. As you pull your whip back and you slash at him, he is actually much better on his feet than you thought, and he actually sidesteps the snap that would have coiled around his ankle.
Seems the lieutenant might actually have some formal training. It seems you do know how to dance.
The lash may cow your crew, but I stand resolute.
When you do that and you pound your chest, Silas, the crew kind of looks confused. And then just a regular deckhand says, does he think that she whips us or something? and sure enough, one little deckhand raises his hand and he says, Captain, I have a question.
Yes.
There's way more of us here. We could just throw them overboard if you'd like.
Is the lieutenant aiming his crossbow at the captain?
That's the intent.
Okay. Mr. Marsh is going to say, I'd lower that if I were you, if you want to keep your trigger finger.
The hunter's mark has been set. My aim is true. Surrender your vessel, or your dear captain will fall.
A ranger?
Mr. Marsh is going to draw his rapier and stand next to the captain.
Silas was very proudly saying, oh, my hunter's mark will not miss. There's a cry from the back of the group, of the crew, of somebody saying, hey, he's trying to kill the captain. And Silas, it feels like an ocean of hands just pour over you and pull you to the ground as 10 people are now jumped on you. And now you're just feeling occasionally a fist or a foot in your side and on your head. And then one crewman stands up while the rest of that's still going on in the background. Ow! 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 While it's going on, one of the crewmen, a young woman, about 18, very short blonde hair with freckles, she stands up and she says, we got him, Captain!
That's my crew. I'm going to look to Mr. Marsh at this, because obviously my crew has this totally handled. I'm going to ask him, what do you think we should do with him?
Personally, I wouldn't mind just tossing him off the side. But there's something about him. I feel like he could be useful to us. He's very tenacious, clearly. He was able to track this island, which is not an easy feat.
You are correct, Mr. Marsh. I believe we have a ranger on our hands, and I don't want to make an enemy of a ranger. What's one more stowaway on this little fool's errand of a journey we've already taken on anyway? Will you do the honors? And I motion to have Mr. Marsh and any available hands to tie him up, since obviously my crew has him incapacitated, if you will.
Yep. You guys also do have a brig on your ship. A way of being able to contain him.
Let's make him at home then.
We'll have the room prepared.
Thank you, Mr. Marsh.
And he'll have the room prepared.
Okay. I assume you're giving a formal order.
Yeah, not to Sammy this time.
Yeah.
It's just like some other crew members.
Yeah.
Just be like, prepare the brig, we're gonna have another guest.
Aye, sir.
And he says, running out of room at this rate.
At this point, the 10 people now peel off of Silas, and they bring him up to his feet, hands bound, legs bound, and Silas, you don't know where you went wrong.
No, everything seems to be going swimmingly.
And now, the 4 of you are now able to approach Silas. Right now, the brig is getting prepared. Right. I'm going to say that the crew hoist him overhead, and they take him down into the brig.
And as we go, I just shout, I will have you all rot on the ropes! You will all hang till your corpses fall into the harbor! The gulls will tear at your throats! Your tongues will be eaten by jackdaws!
Such sweet words. I've heard them all before.
And now, we have set sail. I'm going to say that at one point, Walt, Sammy, Captain, and Mr. Marsh, all four of you are in the captain's quarters. Captain, you are relaxing at your desk, now attempting to plan your route. You've also invited Pearl and Guff into the room.
Before Pearl and Guff come into the room,
it's just the four
Mr.
of
Marsh would like to have a word with the four of them.
Okay.
Or with the other three.
Yeah.
Sugar Plum's there as well. There's 4 of us.
Right. He says, Captain,
Yes.
I was paying attention to the conversation taking place between our guests. It seems that they might know something of a treasure where they're having us go.
Is that so, Mr. Marsh? Did you perhaps catch any details, or will we have to persuade our passengers to be forthcoming with their mission?
We may have to be more persuasive.
The captain's gonna look around, kind of doing the sign for, and any other details? Does anyone else have anything else to report to me? No? Alright. Shall we fetch our guests, then?
Aye. And they
All right.
don't get the guests.
Guff and Pearl both enter the room, still wearing the same outfits that they were before. And Pearl asks, so, how soon till we get to our next destination? And it's at this point that you guys realize she never gave you guys a destination.
Yeah.
So, how many days until we get there? Sorry, I must have forgotten to say that. We're looking for an island called Trapper's Point. And for anybody that wants to,
Yes.
feel free to do a recall knowledge check to see if you know where Trapper's Point is.
Can't imagine I know too much. Recall no leg.
Oh no! Oh!
Okay, with the exclusion of Sam, the rest of you have heard of Trapper's Point, but you don't know where it is exactly. You've just heard that sometimes it's just a great place for fishing or for hunting. But Sammy, you've not only heard of it, but you know where it is, and you know that it's about 2 days sailing from where you guys are at.
Mr. Marsh would like to sense motive
By all means.
being forthcoming.
Yep. Dang, that's good. She's clearly withholding information. She seems to be honest about, yes, we do need to go to Trapper's Point, but it also isn't clear why she needs to go to Trapper's Point, or if Trapper's Point is all she needs to go to.
Mr. Marsh is going to give a look to the captain of all, like, there seems to be more going on here. And then he says, now, Missy, there's only us here in this room. It would be very expedient if you would tell us why we need to go there and give us all the information that we need.
She seems worried, and then Guff puts a hand on her shoulder and says, we need to go to Trapper's Point because we're trying to find... Well, we're trying to find a spyglass lens.
Aye? And you can't find a spyglass lens really anywhere they sell them.
We need this special spyglass lens. There is a temple, we'll say, at Trapper's Point that we need to find, and we need to find the lens that's there.
Right?
At this, the captain's gonna lean forward and say, religious types, eh? Now, I do have to say, I feel like we've gotten off on a strange footing here. For one, we are not usually a passenger vessel. And second, the way I see it, I've already done you a favor by not leaving you in the hands of any of the other notorious captains that you could have had your pick from, especially Captain Romeo.
Ugh.
So you are aboard my ship, and you are here with my crew. And now we are chaperoning you on a religious expedition. Now, I don't want to come off as rude, but what do you have in means of compensation for my crew's services? We were not necessarily heading in that direction before we picked you up.
Guff starts to speak, and well, he's turning to speak to Pearl, but Pearl ignores him and steps forward, and she says, I can promise a reward at the end of this journey.
Now we're talking. Go on, my dear. I'd love to hear all about this journey and this reward.
What about treasure?
What about it?
I can promise you that at the end of this voyage, you will be compensated with treasure.
Treasure from your religious spyglass shop, is it?
Clearly you've got her in some sort of checkmate, but there's something in her face. It's almost like she's not registering that you could have put any kind of pressure on her. Because when you say, like, oh, some sort of treasure from your religious thing, and she says, sure.
What do you think, crew? She's gonna turn, ignoring Pearl and Gruff, just completely, like, ignoring them, pretending that they're just not there, and lean in conspiratorially to Mr. Marsh. And just be like, you think?
There is an uncomfortable lack of information we are receiving here.
I'm with you there. I mean, 2 days down the coast truly isn't that far.
True. I think we need numbers. Hard numbers. As to what it is we will receive for this. I don't like treasure. I'm not just some idiot that's going to hear treasure and leap at the first opportunity. I need to know. I don't think it's gold or silver that they're offering. But I could convince them to give up that information, but if I do so, they are not going to be happy with me.
I don't think we're quite in the desperate measures, Mr. Marsh. Let's try to stay a little bit more on the amicable approach.
Right. Above table, you can make an NPC more friendly to you by making an impression.
I can make an impression.
Yep.
But the captain was asking his opinion. To reiterate, Pearl was saying that she's promising treasure of some kind at the end of this. Mr. Marsh doesn't like it because it's not cold, hard numbers. And Pearl was also talking about how they're doing this as part of a religious pilgrimage. Pearl says, Gosray? Sammy, you're getting the impression that this does have something to do with Gosray, but neither one of these people are religious. Pearl says, well, I mean, do you have to be to do things for Gosray? And Guff actually cuts her off, and he says, I don't think that's really important. But I think that if we're going to be able to track down anything that we're going to need for this journey, a tracker would probably be the best. Is anybody on the crew trained for that? Is anybody on the crew really good at tracking?
Mr. Marsh goes, I might know someone.
Oh, well, great. Let's speak to him and see if he can help us out. And Pearl says, great, then we're all set, right?
Well, don't really know if he's in an agreeable mood right now. He's a little, tied up at the moment.
And Pearl says, well, maybe he'll free up his schedule.
Maybe.
I can ask him.
Great, let's do that. And now Pearl is kind of taking control of the room in a way. She's like, great, you'll speak to your expert tracker. We'll be at Trapper's Point in a couple of days. We'll use your tracker, and then we'll find that spyglass, and then we'll be on our way.
Mr. Marsh, puts up his hand as she's speaking, and then turns to the captain and waits for his orders.
So the captain's been sitting by, kind of watching, just kind of people reading, and at this point, I'm going to make an impression.
Do it.
What I would like to do with my 29 is lean back in my chair, and the captain, as you know, is a bard, and her instrument of choice is actually a tambourine. And so the room goes silent, but you hear this little jingling, this little rhythmic clap, clap. And the room goes quiet, and the captain leans forward and says, I think you've started to understand that we're going to need to work together, my dear. But you also need to start understanding that you are on my ship. And we work as a well-oiled machine. All pieces, all rigging, all sails work in harmony to get us from point A to point B. And now you, my dear, and she's going to take the tambourine and, lift Pearl's chin with it. are now a part of my crew. And so I need you to do one little teensy thing for me as a team player. A little bit of goodwill. And I need you to be a little bit more forthcoming with what exactly it is we're doing and where we're going, so that I can best serve you. And she's really gonna lay on that, Captain Kate. Oh, please. Let me serve you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where's that whip?
Pearl says, what if we get your tracker in here first?
Captain's gonna look over at Mr. Marsh and say, shall we make this a full party?
I suppose. And then he turns to Sam and he goes, Mr. Seabury, let us go and acquire our final guest. And they'll go to the brig to go and have a conversation with their guest.
Sure is boring down here, Silas.
Spent my fair share through the decks before.
Periodically, there's just a crew member that comes down, grabs a can of food, looks at your direction, and then just leaves. Every once in a while, you hear a big creak. Sometimes you even get to see a little bit of daylight, and then...
Yes, boards from the upper decks aren't sealed very well. You know, if this were a naval vessel, it would be in a little better shape.
And then you hear thump, 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 followed by a thump, 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 thump. As, now that I think about it, go ahead and describe for Pieman what Mr. Marsh looks like.
Oh, I already know. It's a doglet and a froglet.
No, yeah.
It is a doglet and a froglet.
So, Mr. Marsh comes down from the steps and quickly followed by Mr. Seabury.
Mr. Marsh comes in and he says, hello, was it Lieutenant Silas?
Yes.
So,
Good memory.
thank you. I ought to be. I used to be an officer myself, you know.
Really?
I found that the job was quite boring.
Boring.
You don't seem to have your own crew, do you?
Well, lieutenants normally don't have their own commissioned crew, no.
Nor a ship of your own, do you?
I'm on a bit of a solo mission. I'm in between vessels.
I'm in between jobs.
I'm in between ships at the moment. Right. Look, I personally would rather throw you off this vessel and let the sea have you. However, and he taps Sammy on the shoulder, and he says, this young one doesn't like bloodshed that much, and has grown quite fond of you. We would like to hire you for a job.
Hire me.
Like, completely stone-faced, like, yes.
Entertaining your ridiculous notion for just a moment, what job would you possibly have for a distinguished officer of the Navy as myself?
You seem to have some formal training in searching and locating things. Is this correct?
Some is a bit of an understatement.
Aye. I recognize the training from the academy.
So what are we looking for then?
Well, it seems that we are looking for treasures of some kind.
Typical.
Aye. But I would be willing to trade in order to locate the treasures that we are trying to find.
What?
You seem to be in need of a pirate. Aye?
Well, I'm hunting pirates. That's why I'm here.
What if I told you that I have the means of acquiring 4 pirate captains for you?
4 captains.
Ooh.
He reaches down and, like, squeezes Sammy's hand to inform him, like, stay calm.
4 captains. The rear admiral would be rather impressed with that haul.
Aye. Have you heard of the vessels the Bitter Thorn, Big Sally, Gallant Rogue, and the Sweet Reckoning?
Has he?
Give me a recall knowledge.
All right, I will give you a recall knowledge.
By the way, as you and Sammy are talking to this guy, are you guys actually taking him from the brig over to the captain's quarters?
He's still there for now. He hasn't agreed to come with us.
All right. Let's see. You've heard of those vessels. You've never seen those vessels. You didn't even pay attention to them the prior night.
Right. Well, no, I was a little, wasn't feeling too hot after that trek.
Yeah.
And the monkeys.
And the monkeys.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of them. I think... Aren't their captains all on the wanted lists?
Aye.
Oh, that's even better.
Very wanted. Help us with what we're trying to do, and I guarantee I can set up a location where all 4 of those pirates will be for you to take.
Well, as much as it sours my stomach to parlay with disgusting, filthy pirates, looks like I don't have a whole lot of choice, and your offer is not the worst I've ever gotten.
Excellent.
Oh, man. Oh, the Rear Admiral's gonna like that. 4. All right, let's do it.
Sammy, untie him. Mr. Marsh gives a very deep and elegant bow and says, "Right this way, Lieutenant." And he leads him back to the cabin.
Well, at least you have manners.
The 3 of you return to the captain's cabin, where Guff catches Silas up on the broad strokes of what they're trying to do, about finding Trapper's Point, about needing to find the lens, and then once they all get to the same point of the conversation where you all were at, Pearl says, "I don't know how many kinds of treasures you've had to track down, Lieutenant Silas, but we're trying to find an island. After we collect the lens over at Trapper's Point," and Pearl's actually going to turn to the captain, "at the risk of being honest, we're trying to find an island that nobody can really find. And the only way for us to get it is we need to collect these pieces of a spyglass. I happen to have the casing of the spyglass, but it needs 3 lenses in order to be able to find the path of the island that's missing. We collect those pieces, find that island, and I will reward you guys with treasure over there." And she turns to Mr. Marsh, "And if you have to be specific about it," Guff puts a hand on his shoulder. He's like, "You don't have to tell them, kid. Listen, little guppy. You don't have to." And Pearl says, "It's fine. We're looking for an artifact called Gosray's Mercy." All right. To close out this session, Sammy, when you hear her say, "We're looking for Gosray's Mercy," it's like hearing a name out of legend. It's like somebody telling you, "We're looking for Excalibur." It is such a far-fetched concept that the people within your order, some of them don't even consider a legitimate point of interest in history. However, you did grow up hearing stories of Gosray blessing a king long ago with his mercy, and with that mercy, that king could master the seas. All of that sort of hits you all at once.
It's King Triton's Triton.
And here's the thing. You don't even know what exactly it does. All you know is what went into the story. And that was some king gained Gosray's favor so well that they were gifted Gosray's mercy. And then that king mastered the waves. And with that revelation in mind, we're going to close out the session today.
So let me get this straight. You want me to help you find a spyglass lens, to make a spyglass to find a magical island so you can find the power to control the ocean.
Let's go make a legend.
Let's go find us a forbidden treasure. I hope it's not cursed.
What could go wrong?
What
could go wrong?
Oh no, now I'm imagining because I've got the 3rd act written out and everything. Now I'm imagining the 3rd act of just an explosion of wood and water, and Silas going, "Yeah, that's me."
You're probably wondering how I got here.
Great job, everybody.
Yeah.
Great job.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent.
that last little bit, I felt like we just had to get in Silas agreeing to join the crew, and then the actual name drop of God's Raised Mercy. So now you guys have a crew, now you guys have a mission, and now you guys have a course.
Incredible.
And now the rest of it,
We have our heading.
you have your heading.
Heading.
Thanks everybody for listening. Thank you, Catherine, Captain Kate. Thank you, Bino, Sammy Seabury. Thank you, Walt, Will. Thank you, Jingles as Mr. Marsh.
Mr. Marsh.
Thank you, Pieman as Mr. Silas. Oh, sorry, Lieutenant Silas.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for playing. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And I am really excited to see where my players go next time. I'm Smarter Roscoe. This is Adventurers Rollout. And you better be in the next episode, or I will take that personal. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, friends.